Yeah, we should be coming back on now. I turned it off and on. There we go, we're back. Sorry guys, looks like Twitch just booted us off a server or something. All's green on our end, so should be back now. Try a refresh. Carry on, guys.
So you want to put a curse on me and have me walk in there to see if it fades?
Right.
At this point, Sarah's running off. She wants to beat Duran to helping people.
Duran grabs Sarah, like, firmly, like, fucking
He can
firmly.
try.
Roll me in athletics.
How about in acrobatics? I'm gonna, like, backflip.
Okay, you can try and,
Oh, shit.
ever with the backflip.
Every time.
Damn. Okay.
Oh, Sarah.
I'm gonna say reroll. I'm gonna say a reroll.
So we match.
Yeah, we match both on a 19. Yeah, he manages to. No, he doesn't. Damn, sorry. Thought you
I'm
rolled
not
a
saying
7.
you rolled, so I don't know.
Yeah. So. Oh right. Yes. Sorry, I forget. Yeah, because it masks all my. Oh, I could just lie. No, he. You managed to
Just
slip
lie.
through his. I could just lie. No, you slip through his hands, and he snarls like.
Gonna have to move faster than that.
Furious.
Well, I guess that we don't have time for this because I don't want you cursed if it doesn't wear off. We're not gonna worry about it. Let's go.
Duran
all right.
takes off sprinting after Sarah, weapon drawn.
Ooh, I could do this though. I cast tongues on myself.
Okay.
Just because it lasts for an hour, and I ask Lucy, start talking to me in whatever languages you know as we are running in.
Okay. Shit.
What languages do you know?
A bunch of them, and I'm trying to remember where they are.
I'm hoping that you know more than me.
Do you know Celestial?
I do not. That's good.
Okay.
So as we run in, start talking to Celestial to me.
Yeah.
What do you say, Lucy?
I will just say something like, "This is the worst idea ever" in Celestial.
You hear, "This is the worst," and then you can't understand her as you cross the threshold. Lucy,
well, that
give
answers
me
that question, so I just keep... Lucy, give me a con save. Squall as well.
Sure.
Oh, Lord.
I'm super boned. This is fine. Save. Here we go.
Con save. Oh, wow. Okay. This is going to hurt,
20s.
ain't it?
Yeah. I think I kind of want to use one of them.
I rolled before I used it, so...
Okay,
Actually,
you
I don't think I
guys...
have one, do I? Oh, I do have one. Look at that.
You guys can both take... you guys both take 5 psychic damage as you lose... Your magic is stripped from you painfully. As you cross over, there are puffs of black vapor that suddenly dissipate entirely. But other than that, and feeling almost lighter, almost emptier, you guys proceed in, and the effect does not persist. It just happens like that, and then you are in, but you
Once the
lose
spell's
that
gone,
connection
it's
to magic. Yeah.
It's ripping the spell off. Got it.
Neat.
Well, this is gonna be not fun. I run after Sarah. You little whippersnapper.
Curtis,
Yeah,
you
I'll be running of the group as well.
She's trickier than a dire wolf in a dress, I swear.
What happens when you have children leading the way?
as you guys get close to the town, you do indeed all catch wind of screams and people crying out. And as you come up, there's a large building on your right, which appears to be like the smithy shop, which you see has damage to the roof in places. Not like major damage, but like tiles have been torn off. On the other side is just a residential home, but you almost get in. You almost get into sort of like the main street. You can see that there's like a town hall in the center. And as you're running down, Sarah, give me a perception check. On a 12, you don't see this coming. However, I do have a nat 1 to burn, so something throws itself out, and you hear Duran shout out, "Sarah, get down!" And this thing comes flying at you from the side, and you barely have any time to react whatsoever. Give me a dex save.
Lord.
Yeah. Oh no! It happened to me.
No.
This thing doesn't manage to claw at you, but it does shoulder check you, and it flings you off your feet and 5 meters sort of away. Like you spin through the air as if you were hit by a freight train, and land hard in the mud, prone and winded. You are not going to take any damage, however, you are prone, which might become important as we roll some initiative.
Lord.
It's gonna be fine. This is fine.
This is fine.
And a crit success, maybe? Wandering Silence? Not sure. Crit success, yeah. Volunteer.
Oh, thank you, Wandering.
You're
Bless
gonna
you.
need doing God's work.
So,
Larry.
how are you doing? We've got a...
Sorry about that. Initiative 17.
That's alright. Yeah, some solid rolls actually. So we've got Sarah first, then Calvin, then Curtis, then Lucy, and these things going last. So Sarah, at the top of the round, you are lying prone, staring up at the wind and the grey sky, and as you look up, sort of past, sort of above you, you see something, just the rear haunches of something vanish into the street opposite. Give me either, I would say a nature check.
Not my specialty.
On a 19, that's the biggest wolf you've seen since that creature that you encountered before. It definitely looks similar to it. It is massive, but it doesn't stop to engage you. It vanishes down the alleyway, but you hear snarls coming from around you, and you are prone.
I'm gonna spend half my movement getting up, and I'm going to take out my short sword and look around for the nearest wolf that I can get to. If I can't get to one, then I'm going to... My passive perception?
Okay.
13.
Yeah. Okay, you look around and you see that there is... You hear something coming from sort of the house just behind you. The door is open. There's no lights on inside. And there is like a dark room. A small pillar of light leads into the room from outside, and you realize you were staring at yellow eyes staring out at you, and you realize that it's about to charge at you.
Sarah's really embarrassed for being knocked down and being called out from Duran, so she readies her sword and just kind of charges in against it.
Okay, you charge, and it's going to charge up to meet you, but you can get your attack in, so give me an attack.
That was the damage, not the attack. Whoops, my bad.
That's alright.
Oh.
A 12 is bang on what you need.
Whew! 9 damage.
9 damage hurts this thing. Give me your second attack.
Flashing across it. Do I get them every turn?
Yes.
Wow, warriors are broken. Sorry, I'm used to playing caster classes. You get to do one thing and then you're done.
Do a thing. Now you are done.
Come on, these rolls.
10 is a miss. What comes out at you is a wolf that is toweringly tall. It's almost your height with its head, and it comes out, and the first slice, you bring away like a bloody swath, and you hear the sound of something hitting the wall behind it, and you realize you've cut through its bottom jaw and teeth have broken away. It has this sort of grizzled snarl, and as you go to swing again to hold it back, it sort of pulls itself back, pawing at the dirt, furiously angry. You see like proper blood rage in this thing's eyes. Anything on your bonus action? Do you have anything to...
No.
Okay. Taking it to Calvin, I believe.
Also, at this point, let me thank Crimson Phoenix for a £25 donation. It says, sorry, but 5 wild magic surges, 1 for each player, and 1 wild magic roulette. So, Josh, you can have a roll or just decide who gets the extra.
I'll put it on Duran. Duran is traveling with you guys.
Yeah.
Let's give him some horrible.
Nice. My wild magic was that I assert that I am brother to dragons and companion to owls. I am a brother of dragons and companion of owls. I'm like Gandalf, you know, when he's like, I am a passive owl.
Yes, okay.
Where does the command again? Die?
Yeah.
Die.
/die.
Why trees? Why did it have to be trees? For Calvin, all trees within 1 mile vanish.
Wow.
Okay.
Trees.
You didn't actually see any trees on the way in. You haven't seen trees in a little while now. It is. It's not just that. You will also notice that sort of vegetation has been dying around here. You came past a lot of shrubs and stuff along the edge of roads that seem to have withered. It's looking bad. Yeah, nature is going wrong here. Okay.
Well, so I am gonna have myself a good old pig rodeo with these wolves. My whole thing is I'm gonna go, Sweet! Come on, tall squeal, tall squeal. And the whole idea here is to stay out of range of these wolves, and for me to be picking them off with my crossbow as we go swinging by. So I'm taking like wide laps around on this big pig, and going and screaming like a madman. And wherever I see a wolf, I'm gonna take a shot at it. So if that one that Sarah's been attacking is still out in the open or somewhere where I can shoot it without getting myself cornered on this Hogzilla pig mount, I want to shoot it with a crossbow.
And that's also a nat 20 and a nat 1 for Josh from Win4. Thank you, Win. Appreciate it.
So, you will see that as you're coming in, you see one wolf comes out to circle round behind Duran. He has his back to it as he's looking to Sarah, seeing that something has attacked Sarah, and she's trying to hold it back into the house that it's just emerged from. And he stiffens slightly and turns, and you see him draw a dagger offhanded in one hand. He has his sword in the other hand, and he turns and he smiles at this thing, gives it a come hither gesture, and distracts it as he's going to use the help action to give you advantage on your attack roll. So give me that attack roll.
Okay, so I'm actually pretty good with my crossbow. So that's +6. That's a 16.
16, yeah, absolutely. Roll me some damage.
Yeah, it's a D8 +3 because Dex is my thing.
My thing.
So that's 6 damage as I shoot it with my crossbow.
Okay. Right, you slam into the back of this thing. Will, would you be able to look up my wild magic search for Duran?
Absolutely.
I don't think we can see your rolls.
334.
134 for Duran. Before each spell, Duran must touch his eyes, ears, and nose.
Okay. Right, I'll work on that. So he sees this thing coming and he gestures for it to come forward, and as it rears up, you sink a crossbow bolt into its back, and it lets out a strangled squeal. Sort of.
I'm just gonna check for the crit. Nope, didn't get it. So just wanted to. I forgot to roll with advantage. I just wanted to double check. Yep. No, it didn't. It didn't. It was lower.
Yeah. Its front paws slam back down into the dirt, and it turns towards you. This is a massive-looking wolf, and you notice that Duran, like, he looks grim as opposed to cocky. He just sort of.
Can Tall Squeal give him the help action back now that he's looking at me? That a big pig lunch meat, big old pig of lunch meat looking at this wolf. So yeah, I'm gonna have Tall Squeal.
Cue Lion King.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. And,
yeah, sorry, the Disney dude. Sorry,
it's Pumbard. It's Pumbard as you come riding in.
So yeah, I mean, basically, I'm gonna have Tall Squeal turn Shanks to him, show him the ham hocks, and start running the other direction to help out Duran to get a good hit.
Okay,
Turnabout's gonna play.
So as that happens,
Aiken, first some bacon. Get you some bacon too.
So that all happens. Curtis, you're coming in behind the group.
Yes. Okay. Can I get with a move action to the closest creature?
Yeah, I'll let you get up to it as you sort of rush forward.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick him with an ice pick.
Okay.
One.
Wonderful.
Wow.
Yep, that is me. I don't think I have advantage. Do I have advantage? I haven't had it in my features.
Oh, actually, yes, you would have advantage because you're attacking the same one that Piggly is. Piggly? As Tall Squeal has just given you the help.
Squeal, help it
so,
out. Yeah,
you will have advantage.
Fuck me, an 11.
An 11 is not enough by one. You swing in for this thing.
Yeah, it's like, I think this is the first time I've seen the ice pick, so it just kind of like unlimbers it, and essentially it's a war pick, but it's, let's say it's like frozen. No actual magical properties, but I think we talked about my hand having like resistance to a frost, so the ice pick itself just sort of clobbers down, but does not find its target, even thanks to the pig.
You swipe in. Luckily, you don't lose the grip. You almost sort of feel it slip from your hands. But you come up with a vicious uppercut, and this thing sort of pulls itself back, driving it to Duran. Duran is... No, it's Lucy up next. Lucy.
Yeah. Also, my wild magic surge. If anybody wants to know, everyone within 50 yards is tattooed with a sequential number.
What actually you will see is these wolves have been branded with numbers. Okay. As this thing rears up, Curtis, you'll be the first one to notice. This one has a number. It just says 7 that is burnt into it, and it has a symbol that you don't have a chance to look at. You notice that it does have a collar around its neck, and it is similar to the one that you saw before on those that creature that attacked the royal convoy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Lucy, you're up.
Literally all I can do is run up and hit things with my staff.
Okay.
It's also the dumbest thing I can possibly do, but we're here, and so I will do that.
Yeah, I mean, there are people screaming around in sort of nearby houses, not like any that are directly off this street, but there are other...
Sure. Are there any people still trying to get away?
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Remember, you can also do the help action to give other people advantage.
By making myself a target, probably, but sure.
You'd have to get close.
Throw a rock.
We'll try and... Yeah.
Yeah, do the help and say it's a ranged help.
Sure.
On a 12, you can hear that there are definitely people in this town that are still alive and screaming in fear, but you don't spot any.
Okay. Yeah, sure. We'll try the help action. So who is Is Sarah on
Duran,
right now?
Duran, Calvin, and Curtis are all on one wolf. Behind Duran, sort of further down the street, Sarah is 1v1 versus something,
All right.
probably another one of these wolves.
All right, I'll give Sarah some help. Run over that way and try to distract it with a shout and a rock or something to give her a chance.
Okay. As you do so, give me a performance check. Let's just see how good you are.
Sure, because that's my best stat.
You got
What?
a crit though.
Damn! Nat 20! What do you shout as you come in?
Oh man. Curse you, you filthy, mangy, rotten beast!
You pick up a rock and just dirty, no good. And you throw it.
Yeah.
You hit
love
this
it.
thing in the eye, and it reels back from the hit, letting out a guttural howl. And
Oh.
Sarah, next to you, the wolf that is trying to come out of this door suddenly turns, snaps its attention away from you for a moment. And I'm going to give, as it's a nat 20, if Curtis is up close and Sarah, you're up close, you both have attacks of opportunity as you completely catch these two creatures off guard with your display of bravado, shall we say.
Yeah.
We're going with bravado. We'll say it's bravado. So if
Sure.
you both want to give me, yeah.
Come on! Really? Are you kidding
That's
me?
more
man?
like it.
Okay, Sarah, you
Why?
look at this thing.
Why?
You lunge forward with your blade, and it turns, and it turns, and it doesn't actually hit you. Sort of like it doesn't hurt you, but its snout just backs the blade from your hand, and it just sticks in the ground 10 feet from you.
That is an extra +4 to that damage, so 8 points of damage for Curtis.
Okay. You swing in a second time, and you stab into this thing's jowls, and it reels back, snarling at you in anger and seemingly unable, like you catch it in its blind spot as it appears to not be able to see out of its eye suddenly. Plenty of mud sort of causing trouble. Yeah, it's unpleasant. And it is Duran's turn. Duran will make an attack against this.
Better fail too.
He's actually gonna turn and he's gonna come over to Sarah's wolf because Sarah's on her own and everyone else is ganged up.
need your help.
For a 14 to hit, so he's gonna stab into this creature. Okay, he comes in and Sarah, like as this thing goes to sort of step out, he sinks a blade into this thing, sort of hackles, pulling it back, and bringing out fresh gouts of blood. And the second swipe misses as he sort of like drives it back into the house, and you see sort of like the first few tentative steps out into the grey light of day. It withdraws in, clearly hurt. And you will have an opportunity to grab your blade in just a second. However, it is these things' turns. Let me just bring up those sheets there. Okay. We're going to start with the one closest to the main group. It's going to look at Curtis.
Oh, my wild magic surge, by the way. The next time I say my own name, my mouth is closed shut. Thanks.
Like permanently?
Like permanently.
Okay.
Is
Good.
sealed shut. When the caster next says his name, his mouth is sealed shut. So, you know.
We'll get to that in a moment. Oh god. This thing is going to. Okay, so it's going to make an attack at Curtis. So.
Come at me.
It will do for a. Does an 11 hit your armor class?
An 11 does not hit.
With its second attack, does an 11 hit your armor class? Consistent.
An 11, still not gonna hit.
It swipes at you viciously, but just like its vision is blurry. You can see blood mingling with mud in its eye, and it snaps its jaws closed around thin air, narrowly missing you as you sort of almost pirouette out of the way with grace and practice. And there we go. It will be the one against Duran and Sarah. Okay, Sarah.
A resplendent
Here,
offering.
I'm gonna need. Ooh.
When Flora, a woodland creature, helps and sticks with Lucy.
Oh,
Thank you, Flora.
yay!
I have animal
Okay.
friends now.
Okay, we'll get to that in Uno Memento. But Tia, I'm gonna need a D2 from you. You want 2? No, you want 1. Tell a lie. I lied to you. Roll me a D2.
/die, 1d2. Got a 2.
Okay, I have a nat 1 and a nat 20. Nat 20 coming at you. So,
Damn.
this thing has 2 attacks. It comes out and it's going to make a slashing. It'll make a claw attack at a dear friend Sarah. No, actually, it's not. So you're going to take.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, because I am College of Lore, I have cutting words. Does Bardic, it's using my inspiration die. Is that considered magic, or is that considered like a physical distraction?
You won't know until you try.
So, is she within 60 feet of me?
Yes.
I would like to do I want to use my reaction to expend a use of Bardic Inspiration on that nat 20 to drop it by a d8 off a nat 20.
As you
And
speak,
give it a try.
As you speak,
I just scream out, it's like, don't you dare!
There is a puff of blackness that surrounds you for a split second. Doesn't work.
Do I take psychic damage?
No, you don't take any psychic damage. It doesn't seem to affect it just when you crossed over the threshold. However, you do still spend the inspiration as it is sort of
It burns it. Hey, it was worth finding out.
Yeah. And yeah.
How much damage do I take?
You are going to take only 9. It rolled quite badly, but you are bitten. Can you give me a con save?
I'm gonna use my nat 20.
Good call.
That sounds like you're trying to turn me into a werewolf, and that's kind of scary. So, hey, no.
Wait, are they werewolves? They're not. They're wolves. They're not. Well, they're like
see.
wolf, not humanoid wolves.
I don't know, but I'm not okay with it.
Lights into you. Yeah, on the con save, nothing else of note. And then it's going to sweep at Duran, and Duran is going to make a free attack on it when it's got to spend its nat 1 to do so. So Duran again plunges his blade into this thing's face, and sort of like you see, like it goes for the same place that you sliced into it, Sarah, and it just twists and pulls out sort of, and you see a chunk of this thing's tongue come loose, like flapping out the side of its mouth, and he sort of holds the blade, and again it retreats back into the house, badly injured, and he will move up, so now he's standing beside you, and he's going to step between you and this creature so you can grab your weapon.
I have 2 swords. I don't need to grab my weapon. I can leave it flung out to there.
Right.
So, I don't need your help, Duran. Go away. Is it my turn?
Yeah, top of the round. It is you again.
I didn't know that when you said I could take 2 attacks that you meant that I had to use my second wind ability. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have wanted to do that. I'll burn it for this time. But...
Nope.
You've got extra
Really?
attack at level
Okay.
5, which allows you to take an extra attack whenever you take the attack action.
It's
Okay.
You're thinking
I'm
of
go-
action surge, which means you can take an additional attack, so you can get 3 attacks.
Action
All
surge just
right,
lets you
then.
double that.
That's... So I can take 4 attacks?
Yeah.
If you were to action surge, then you're good, right?
The attack
That's
action you
pretty
get
And it's
3
once
attacks.
per long rest.
I'm just going to lash out with my short sword, though. I don't really
Yeah,
feel
sure.
too danger scary with these guys. For 10 damage. As it goes to swipe out at Duran, I'll take the opportunity just to plunge deep into it.
You stab into it, and this thing doesn't let out a savage growl. It lets out sort of a slightly like kicked dog sort of squeal, and sort of limps back. And you see that it now is like sunken on its right-hand side, where it's taken like a flurry of hits. It doesn't seem like its paw almost seems to drag backwards across the ground.
Does a 14 hit it?
14 hits, yeah.
Alright, I'll take my sword back out and then stab it back in again. Just like Dad taught me how to do.
This thing pulls back, and you see it like lose its strength in its front paw, and it collapses. It's still moving, but it is quite clearly badly injured. You see blood is just matting its fur. You see it spilt across the floor. It almost seems like it's struggling to stand with sort of all the wetness and slickness of the stone floor. This thing is having a very bad day, and seems to be slightly less confident now that there's not just one person attacking. It is, I believe, Calvin is up next.
Well, yeah. So Calvin is gonna keep up with. I mean, so how is Sarah looking down there after getting hit by this wolf? Is she? Does she need rescuing?
Give me a perception check, as you know you're looking round the wolf that is all up in your biz.
While I'm looking around the wolf, if he gets in my way, can I see whether or not he's wearing a collar like the one I got?
You can see that. I'll just give you that on your passive. On a 20, she looks like she's okay. Duran is sort of beside her. She has been bitten, but she's not sort of bleeding heavily, and she's still fighting.
So how about I've still got the one that's sort of harassing me, though, correct? She's down the street. So yeah, staying at range, I am going to shoot this one with my crossbow again, to just try to you know what, seeing that, I'm gonna roll it. I'm gonna try it. I was thinking I should use my nat 20, but I'm gonna save that. I know Josh, he's got something worse coming. So that's 24.
At 24, yep, you slam another bolt into this this guy, and he. Is that
10 damage?
Oh damn!
Yeah,
it's sort of, you slam into it, and it sort of flails backwards, clawing at the dirt, and you see its beady yellow eyes just snap round and look at you, seeing sort of both the pig and you, the biggest target, the most meat, the most flesh for it to tear into. You see that look and realize it's got your number.
Damn. Okay, so I'm gonna again try to keep at range and have a tall squeal run away to try to distract it, to give the help action to I believe Curtis is there about to attack, right? Or is it Duran? I'm sorry, Curtis.
Curtis, Lucy, and you are on this one. Duran and Sarah are on the other one, just down the street.
Okay, so I wanted to give Curtis help.
Okay. So
Tall Squeal takes the help action.
Woo! Fantastic. On that, it is Curtis's turn. Curtis, you have advantage.
Okay, that is good for me because if I hit it, I'm about to do something. So let's give it a roll. It's a 14 to hit.
14 hits.
Let's check for crits. Yeah, 19. So that's the ice pick there, and then that's 3d6 on sneak attacks.
Damn!
Which is
Oh my goodness!
In total of 27 points of damage.
27. Nice. Okay, describe a very wounding blow as you drive your pick into this creature.
The ice pick goes into the brain of the creature and like rips out brain and gore, but the creature isn't quite dead yet. It's like half of its brain is falling out from one side of its face, but it hasn't quite realized that it's dead.
Its bad eye, like you break the eye socket and its bad eye is just torn into pieces, and it suddenly lets out like an uneven pitch, like there's a whirring to it, and it staggers like sideways, clawing at the ground, trying to stay on its feet, but it is very, very injured. And taking it finally to Lucy. Lucy, before you can do anything, you hear something. Give me a dex save, please.
Sure.
Oh no.
All the things I'm great at.
You have lots of nat 20s.
Yeah.
You have nat 20s! They gave them to you!
I also am going to just use my luck feat and take a luck point and re-roll that shit.
Okay.
Oh my god, you stress me out. How many numbers can you actually roll? Just like 8 in a row.
I know.
I will let you spend a luck point to take one of your nat 20s if you want.
Thank you. That was what I was doing.
I see what you're going.
Rolling like D2s. Oh my god.
Rolling D1s. It's like a self-writing dice.
One roll as many net. Like you've set some sort of record.
This has never happened to me. Never.
I'm almost impressed, but it's too sad.
She is actually cursed, I think.
Lucy, you hear something. Lucy, you hear hooves behind you, and you turn, and there is a stag behind you that is bounding down. And as you just manage to pull yourself out of the way, this stag dips its head and just clashes into this wolf, full on, catching it as it rears up, and you see that its huge antlers just puncture into this thing's chest, and it rears back, clawing at the deer's back, trying to sort of get purchase as the deer sort of like tips it over and it goes prone. It almost drags the deer off to one side. You see like part of the antlers snaps off in it, and the deer sort of staggers out of the way of its clashes, and lying on its back, bleeding heavily, but still thrashing around, possibly even in its death throes. It's your turn, Lucy.
Well, thank you. So I assume this thing looks like it's probably pretty hurt. I could just...
It's prone as well, so...
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just give it a solid jab with my quarterstaff, I guess.
Okay. Roll me those double nat ones.
Yeah, we'll do that. Let me actually find that action. How... Is that how I do weapon damage?
That is 2 ones! Oh my god! Oh my god, I called it! That was 2 ones, they're just on the same dice. Okay, that's fine.
This isn't even funny anymore. This is...
It's an 11, weird. Don't worry, Will.
This is so weird.
Okay, do you want to roll to see if you, if you crit?
Sure.
You get in a solid hit. How do you finish this wolf off? As it's got... I very much doubt you couldn't kill it in one.
She's just gonna kind of wheel around the end of her staff with the head of it, which is where her arcane focus is, so it's like crystals kind of bound to the end, and just give it a good solid jab in the in the
throat.
Yeah.
It's letting out a growl of pain, and then suddenly you push down and you just close its windpipe with one strike, and you just hear it. And yeah, this sudden feat of strength, you're pretty sure you're trying to you've never really fought with a quarterstaff before and never had to rely on it, but there's a moment where you cast your mind back to an exercise you saw in a book you picked up recently, and you just bring it crushing down, and yeah, it just cracks and you hear the bones snap, and it tries to let out this, and you notice that you can still hear this horrible sucking sound as you realize that from the puncture where it's been hit by this antler, you can hear its lung trying desperately to keep inflated and failing as it fills with blood, and it dies horribly.
Great.
Taking it round to Duran. Duran is going to he's going to step in and make 2 attacks against this thing, just trying to finish it off. That's a 17 and a 17. 2 perfect numbers right there for minimum damage. Wow. And maximum damage. Balances it out. And Sarah, you watch as he walks in and he swipes at this thing, getting a slight cut in on it, but it's just enough to sort of set it off balance. And he brings his sword up underneath this thing, and you see the tip of the blade just puncture through the top of its snout as he drives it through the underside of its throat and just twists, and there is a crunch and its scream of pain just cuts off. And then suddenly...
sorry to interrupt, Josh, but we've got a raid in from Mythomatic. Just talking about Myth earlier, actually. Just recently honored.
He's so great.
Yeah.
Mythomatic.
We love Myth.
Definitely go check out Myth. He's all of our friends. We've known him for a long time on account of roleplay here. He's here every Monday, but you can also find him on his own channel over there, where he does a bunch of great GTA RP, along with a bunch of other games that he's doing at the moment. So definitely check out the Mythomatic. Send him all the love for his long overdue partnership with Twitch.
Oh yeah,
and
yes, he got it.
Yes,
congrats, man.
Finally, that is awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. Congrats again. Every time I send Myth, recently I've been saying congrats. I'm sure he's sick of hearing it, but congrats again, buddy. He does that.
Yeah. As you see him, he drives home his sword into this werewolf's throat, and then suddenly drops his blade as the whole weight of this creature comes crashing down, and reaches down to sort of try and tear his blade out. He has to sort of saw it out through the way as it's sort of fallen on the hilt. And that is the end of combat for the moment. We're going to keep initiative just for now, but Sarah,
what are you doing? She screams at him, angry. I don't need your help. Go and help somebody else. You're just getting in the way.
Duran just wipes down his blade, looks at you. Are you a child?
You're an idiot. You could be out there helping somebody else. You are a jerk.
If you don't buck the fuck up, I will cut you down.
If you think that running in and helping me just because you put me on the torture rack, it's gonna help the whole situation make me like you anymore, you're wrong. I'm going to hate you forever.
He freezes in place, turns, looks at you, and says, "There are families out there fucking dying while you're arguing with me."
Him!
And he turns back to sort of advance on the rest of the party. You can see he looks fucking furious right now. He's covered in blood, as are you, Curtis, being close. And Lucy, you've got it sort of on your arms,
nice little brains.
On your legs. And yeah, he comes forward, sort of cleaning some of the brain matter and gore off his sword, glancing around. Everyone give me perception checks.
Perception check is
23.
Oh damn, 24.
Damn.
Look at that.
Damn. Okay. Calvin, you can't make this out over the squeal of Tall Squill, your pig mount. As you look around, everyone else will hear that there are people. You can see actually down the road that in the town hall, there are 2 more of these creatures. One's on the roof, and one is trying to smash its way through the town, like the main doors. And you can hear people screaming from inside. And you're pretty sure, Curtis, you can see fire in one of the windows on the lower floor.
That's not good. I'll shout
you
fire.
Can hear a lot. You can hear a lot of voices, people coming from that direction. It seems people are holed up there.
Yeah. Sorry, it looks like there's fire in the building that they're holed up in.
Yeah.
As if they're being like burned out. Okay. Then I'll, point over that direction. Fire, quick! We've got to get them out of there.
Yes.
And, quickly look over towards Sarah and Duran, who are arguing. Come on!
Duran just turns and begins running in that direction.
Sarah notches a arrow on her bow
Running
and
that
looks
way.
longingly at Duran's back, but also
shake my head.
begins.
When? Not why.
Education
Goes and grabs her other
murder.
sword.
Okay.
Well, I got education on stealing from Squall's character and education on murder. Those, you guys are really great parents.
Yeah.
We're
Best
great.
learning experience. There is something I would like to try, if I may, but I have a feeling it may not work. I have that water skin that, whatever water.
Yeah. Decanter of Endless Water.
Yeah, the decanter of endless water. I want to see if I can pop it open and basically make a fire hose.
It's empty.
It probably won't work, but I'd like to try it.
Oh, that's right. It's empty. No
empty.
magic.
You pop it open, there's nothing in there at all.
Here's a quick question. And I'm sorry if you, because these wolves are wearing collars or not wearing collars like the silk one.
They are wearing
before.
collars.
As I approach the wolf, remembering that this before was a man inside of the wolf, is there magic around him like this? Like this collar is allowing that magic to work?
Roll me an Arcana.
Oh, that would be such
I'm
a
using my nat 20. I'm using my nat 20 because this is going to be important.
On your nat
that's
20,
That's a viewer decision for 20 followers there.
damn,
Oh,
okay.
nice.
Name my duck. Name my duck.
As you are looking at this collar, you realize that whatever it is, it seemed to be controlling the last wolf, which was working with a party of other people, like a pet almost.
Right.
Whatever these collars are supposed to do, they sure as fuck aren't working here. And these creatures have just gone feral.
Gotcha. Okay.
It does begin to... Both these bodies will slowly begin to shift back into humanoid forms. I'll give you... As it's in that 20, you probably realize that it's because lycanthropy is a disease as opposed to magic.
Magic.
It is something that actually affects you physically.
Yeah,
as opposed
as a
to...
bard, I've heard about werewolves before, and so yeah that would make sense. Okay.
You...
This is bad, folks. Don't get bit.
Yeah, you see up ahead that there is this strange sort of. There's a town hall. It's 2 stories, and there is indeed a fire that is ablaze. Chat. Who is the town hero who is rallying the defense? Very well.
Oh, nice. So, name the town hero.
Yeah, name that town hero.
Write some ideas underneath that line in chat, my friends.
Yeah, there we go. Gavin immediately.
Gavin.
Master. You ready for some double roleplay, buddy?
Oh god.
I have a lot of nat 20s I'm gonna have to start using.
Yeah, you do.
I
So,
wanna make it count.
he's left. He's gone. You drove him away. You drove Squall away with your recommendation again. He's got to get in Gavin. So you guys begin to rush forward as a group. Holy... How does... Is that right? That count on how many nat 20s?
Yeah, she got five nat 20s and just used one, so we're on a 4 for Lucy at the moment.
Yeah, on screen she has
But on
about
screen there's like 20.
14.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's just looking like,
it's pretty
holy
amazing.
shit, she's broken. Okay.
Wait,
She's
yeah.
a wizard that can do anything.
Oh yeah, we've got like some kind of error there on my spreadsheet because it reads 4 on mine. I'll see if I just get rid of them off now and see what happens.
Okay. Damn. OP wizard who can't cast. She's just gonna find. You should have been a fighter. This is what we're gonna realize. You were a badass
Really?
fighter.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna multi-class to fighter, and everything will be fine.
You are rushing in, guys, towards it. We're going to cut back to top of the round for Sarah. Sarah, you are first. You see Duran has already got a head start on you. He's leading sort of this charge in.
Sorry, my audio did something weird there. What did you say?
Duran is leading the charge into this town hall. But you are up first in the order. He's sort of 10 feet ahead of you and bearing down on one of these creatures.
I am going to action surge with my bow and try to shoot past him now. Okay, I'm new with warriors. Be patient with me. Put yourself down 2. You can take 1 additional action on top of your action. So I can shoot 4 times?
Mm-hmm. You have got 1 on the roof
Correct.
and 1 by the front doors that Duran is charging.
Okay, I'm going to do that thing again where I notch all of the arrows and shoot them all at once, but not as a volley, rolling them individually, just for flair. Short bow. This is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm assuming the last 3 hit.
Yeah, the first one. Roll me damage for the first one. Duran takes an arrow to the back. Roll me damage for the rest.
I mean, oh no!
Fucking
On a
hell.
19, doesn't that make it a crit because I have improved critical?
Now I have
Yeah,
to kill
we'll
him.
do.
Okay, so there's 6 from the first one, 2 and 3. Oh, that's not that much anyways. And then I guess for the last one is... Oh, that's a D4. No, that was my dagger, sorry. And, yeah. That is it. 6, 8, 9, 10 damage? That's it? I feel cheated.
However, you do damage to Duran, who is going to stagger slightly as he comes in, and you realize that he's still going for this thing as a volley of arrows comes past him. Taking it round to Calvin, buddy.
So I'm
You're up.
sorry. What are we fighting?
You're fighting. There's 2 more werewolves. One on the ground floor
werewolves.
outside the town hall. One's on the roof, which has climbed up. It's on the 2nd floor, and it looks like it's trying to find its way through the roof.
Yeah, since I've got ranged, I will shoot the one up on the roof. How precariously is he perched on the roof? Is this like a steep roof and he's kind of a dog on, he's not a cat. I mean, he's a dog. Is he sort of...
It's a slanted roof and it's tiled, unlike the thatch roofs of sort of smaller settlements. This has got tiles on it, so there's a chance you'll dislodge him.
Cool. Yeah, no, I was thinking I still had the nat 20. I was using nat 20 to get a called shot to dislodge. So I'll just roll her up and see what we get. It's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 hits, yep.
And then that would be for only 5 damage.
5 damage. The bolt slams into it and it staggers. It's going to make a dex save because it is on the roof, as mentioned. So, it scrabbles desperately to hold on, and you see tiles give out, and sort of as one, it causes a cascade, and it slips, and you see it fall, and it manages to catch one claw on the edge of the roof, but it looks like it will probably fall next turn as it tries desperately to clamber back up. It's rear paws smash the glass on the second floor, one of the windows, and from inside you hear fucking terror as like the huge rear legs of this creature come through, but it's trying to pull itself back up.
That's all I can do, and since like inspiration ain't working, I'm just gonna keep a bead on this wolf to make sure he doesn't slip in that upper floor, and to try to shoot him again when I get another chance.
Okay, taking it to Curtis.
There's two of them. One of them's been injured. Have I seen Sarah shoot Duran in the back?
Yes.
Does he look injured?
He looks. You can't see his face. You can see that he has an arrow sticking out of his shoulder, but he's not broken his charge of this creature, seeing the bigger threat. And also, he has no cover. So
I shoot Sarah the most venomous glare.
Oh, like, you're gonna say shoot Sarah? I was like, oh shit!
No, I don't shoot her.
I look at him like
I look so disappointed and angry.
No!
Oh, you're disappointed? Oh no!
He's not mad. He's not.
Disappointed.
Just disappointed.
I'm just so disappointed in you, Sarah. So
we both know that you let yourself
Has it been a week yet?
No. I'm gonna say this could trigger a tantrum.
Okay, well, Sarah is gonna go into a tantrum.
Wild magic tantrum.
1d4. Oh wait, no, I can't because I'm in the anti-magic zone. Never mind. No tantrum.
I don't attack her, and I don't attack Duran. I actually come to his side, and I'm going to try and kill the werewolf here because Curtis has got his priorities right, and so does Duran by the looks of things.
He turns. This creature, you wouldn't like. You get advantage anyway, but you don't catch it off guard as it turns, having been shot 3 times in the back.
I think this creature. I think Curtis might normally act differently, but he's found like an odd sort of connection with Duran in that that line of soldiering that they've both been in, and he sees that Duran's done some bad things, as is he, but he does seem to be trying to redeem his honor, and that's something that Curtis can respect. So he's gonna nat 20 it on the werewolf there for 11 points, and then I double my sneak attack.
Yes, you do. Holy shit, this should be painful.
6. And that's right. So total 35 points of damage on the werewolf from the ice pick. Just slams it down.
A debilitating injury that you leave this creature as you sink your blade in, your spike into him.
It's going to come right into its sort of haunch, where its shoulder would be, and just dig right in there, and kind of it's as damaging on the way out as it is on the way in, and he kind of like rends and tears at flesh as it comes out, and spatters with blood. One last glare back at Sarah as he's covers himself and Duran in the creature's blood.
I didn't mean to! She shouts after you with like aching in her voice, clear.
Could I roll like an insight check on whether or not she is telling the truth there?
Do not nat one this. This is please. Have mercy.
So I have ear for deceit. Whenever I roll a wisdom check, which is trying to figure out if someone is lying, a roll of 7 or lower counts as an 8. So that is technically a 10 rather than a 9.
Yeah,
still not very good.
So yeah, you look at Sarah. I mean, you know she doesn't feel bad. Like, you're pretty sure. And there's a chance that she intended, but also there are 3 arrows in this creature's back. Duran was in her way. It's just poor judgment on her behalf.
Okay. I mean, there's not much I can convey in a 6 seconds after I attack that wolf, so there's just something that he knows.
And taking it round to Lucy. Lucy, there is a large stag near you with broken antlers that looks at you for a moment, and just sort of stares at you. Doesn't charge, it's just staring at you. It's about 10 feet away.
Alright, friendly. So wolves are what wolves are left? Are they all on the roof?
There's one clambering, trying to keep itself on the roof and desperately failing as it's just tearing roofs and tiles off. There's another one that is essentially in front of the door, and you see it's torn into the door.
Okay. Lucy's just gonna kind of try to gesture and point her animal friend in the direction of the wolf there. Just since you're being helpful, go get that wolf, that one, at the door.
It looks at you, and despite the fact that you know there can be no magic, it can't be magical, it can't know. There's no way it can know. It fucking turns, and it begins to run at this at this house, this sort of large townhouse, this town hall, sorry, charging towards it. It's not going to get there this turn, as you were sort of further towards the back. But yeah, what do you do?
Can I take the help action to help my new friend?
Yeah, sure.
Advantage when it gets there.
Yeah, as you run up, you sort of both double move, and we'll get there momentarily.
Okay.
But as that happens, we're going to move to Duran. Duran will make his 2 attacks against this guy for a Uno and a okay. Oh, this is bad. So one hit and one nat 1. So roll damage. He sinks his blade into this werewolf, and then as he draws it back out, sort of the wolf swipes, bats his hand, and he's going to swing an arcing blow, which will cut through Curtis. Curtis, you take 6 piercing damage, and sort of he doesn't. There's no apology. He doesn't like react in any way. He just turns back to sort of continue attacking this creature. This is something that will have to be dealt with at a later date. This thing is right up in your face. Speaking of which, it's going to make 2 attacks at you guys. First one does a 15 hit your armor class, Curtis.
AC is 16.
It snaps its jaws at you, and then it nat 20s against Duran.
That might do it.
Yeah. So that'll be some dice. Hold on. Boosh. Oh, that is grim. As you watch as Duran sort of like has a moment, like he sees he's sort of pierced your flesh, and as this thing snaps, it goes for another vicious swipe at you, and seeing you've just taken a hit, Duran just steps between you and it, and is lifted off his feet and tossed to one side, hitting the pillar to one side of the door, and slumps to the ground. You see he's still in this fight, but he has a horrible raking claw mark across his chest that's perforated his armor, and he, like, stunned for a moment, stands to his feet uneasily, picking up his sword, but you can see blood is just spreading quickly. He's a little banged up by that. And finally, there is an almighty crash from the door, and you see the door opens, and this thing, this poor unbeknownst werewolf, suddenly reels forward, almost bowling into you, as he sort of, his arm sort of gives out, and he almost sort of rolls down the steps. And standing in the doorway is a figure wearing mismatched armor that is torn sort of from a million different places, wielding the biggest hammer you've ever seen in one hand, rippling muscles. I believe he has spotted red hair, looking
red
quite
beard.
wild. And he strides out after this creature, having landed 2 horrible blows, One of them seems to have driven one of Sarah's arrows through its front without breaking it somehow, and he strides out, seeing that the things have changed out here. And Gavin Fjordhammer steps into the ring beside you guys. He summons no magic. There are no crashing blows of a smite, but player 2 has entered the game.
So,
does Sarah
Gavin,
recognize Gavin like right away, or
give me a history check, because it's not like
I saw him once. I saw him once. Remember, on a hill far away. So
I know.
I mean, he is a giant of a man. Oh.
Yes, you recognize Gavin Fjordhammer in front of you.
It's Gavin Fjordhammer! She says, shaking and pointing her arm.
He looks down at her and goes, I thank you for your help. We were almost out of hope, and you have brought new hope to this town. Lend me your sword, and let's finish and vanquish these foes. And he strides out into the street.
Sarah's like right beside him as soon as possible.
After basically knocking, golf swinging, baseball batting with his giant maul, this wolf out of the doorway, and gives a nod to everyone else. Calvin shooting from the back of Tall Squeal, the rogue and the torturer, and just gives a sort of silent nod of let's finish this.
So, taking it round to the top of the round, Sarah, you're up. You're standing beside Gavin Fjordhammer.
What's still out there? Can I hit anything with one of my swords?
This creature's right in front of you.
Okay, good. Let's not screw this up today. 1. Not as good, but I'll take it. 1d6.
Both of them hit. One's a nat 20. This thing is absolutely trashed. How would you like to kill it?
60. Standing beside her hero, Gavin Fjordhammer, just absolutely 2 swords in hand, like immediately just strikes down, and like lets out the most powerful war cry she can as a 14-year-old girl, and not even realizing that she's done it, and sticks the other sword inside of it, not even realizing that it's already dead, just in the excitement and the adrenaline of being beside him.
As you plunge your blade directly between this creature's eyes, its growl just suddenly snatched out, and as you do, you draw it back and you look up to your idol, and behind Gavin you see this poor werewolf on the roof just snatching finally, and it comes away with air as it falls backwards, and you hear it let out a slight snarl of fury, of anger, of fear, and you hear it crunch to the ground, silent.
Gavin turns to Sarah and goes, "It's a mighty blow, young warrior. You will make a fine fighter. Throughout your travels, will you bring hope back to this world?"
I will. She says, looking at it, her heart has completely turned from all the parenting that has been done by Curtis and Calvin. The hate just flees from her heart at seeing her hero, and she makes a vow then and there that she will be just and good to people in the world.
And he does not treat her like a little girl and like scratch her hair or anything. He reaches out his arm in a warrior's handshake, his giant arm, and sort of a hand that probably all but encompasses her whole thing, and just does the big thing. And, seeing her commitment.
We see Gavin clasping young Sarah's hand on the steps of the town hall, with people coming to the door armed with whatever they could grab. Some warriors, some villagers, some injured. That is where we're going to wrap up, as no more howls reign over this place. But something is still very wrong. And that is where we're going to end, because we have
awesome
preparations to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my friends, thank you for watching tonight's episode of The Long March. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I know I certainly had a blast playing on tonight's show. And thank you guys for all of the donations, all of the creative viewer decisions, and Wild Magic Surges Day, as ever, make this show about 20 times more fun and, of course, chaotic. But stick around here, because in just a few minutes' time, we've got the official Midgard campaign stream coming up. The World's Tree Burns. I'm back with myself, Tall Squall, Tia, Josh, McLokin, and, of course, our excellent Dungeon Master, Dan Dillon. So stick around here for more of the World Tree Burns, more D&D5E. But let's go around to cast and crew. Did we enjoy ourselves? And where can we find you guys online? Of course, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit the follow button and join us. Again, big shout-outs go to Table Story and Mythomatic for those hosts and rates. Really appreciate it. And suggest you guys go follow their channels as well. But let's go around. Josh, what do you think about tonight's show? Where can we find you online?
You can find me online at Encounter Joshua. You can find me on Townplugs Pod with Tall School and Will and plenty of other fantastic people, just generally dying and being miserable. I will be, in World Tree Burns. You can also find me, if you're around this time next week, back a few hours, you can find me over on the Greyhawks channel with Laugh Love Lindy, with Mythomatic, who we've spoken a lot about tonight, Zippy Zippo, and Don from the Times and Tentacles podcast. Super exciting stuff. Other than that, just find me on Twitter, and I absolutely love this roleplay tonight, and it was amazing to see Gavin return. And Tall School, I will talk to you in the intermission, if I can, about how Gavin has been going since Long March Season 2. Stick around.
Very cool.
Great stuff. Great stuff. And Tall School, same questions.
I had a great time, of course. I mean, having Gavin back, it's like I had to take a second to rehearse and get myself out of Calvin's voice and back into Gavin's voice. But, oh, man, to bring back Gavin, my boy. Thank you, chat. That is a huge treat. You guys rock. Yeah, I'm super excited. Best way to find out all the things I'm doing is to go follow me on my Twitter at Tall Squall. And from there, you can see all the fun stuff. And keep an eye out for the old D&D Fitness hashtag with a summer shape up for all you dice rollers out there. Let's all get fit together. Have a great one.
Putting my mute button on my new setup. Thank you, Tall School. Tia.
I was kind of sad that I didn't have my voice down pat at the beginning of the episode, so I'm definitely with Squall and needing to warm up beforehand with character voices. Sorry about shooting Duran, not sorry. And having her hero appear in front of her at the end is just like the most badass thing. And I'd been wondering where Sarah was going to go with her parenting and stuff like that. She's had kind of shitty influences, no offense, guys. But now having something solid in her heart for good. You may even start worshiping the Raven Queen now that she's seen him in person. Just like, you know how you fangirl when you're 14 years old? Yeah,
like all the same bands.
Yeah, exactly.
She's gonna have a poster of Gavin in her tent.
Yeah, so it was a blast. Amazing. I had a lot of fun.
Great stuff. And Jess.
Yes, I am Jess, Little Cup of Joe, on Twitter and on Twitch, where I stream video games and art and things like that. And tonight was great. I rolled a bunch of nat ones. I have no magic, but I have a stag, so I'm fine. It's fine. Everything's great.
Amazing stuff. Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. It has been a lot of fun. It's great to see so many people new with us tonight. And we're going to head into our next game, the World Tree Burns, so stick with us for more Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition coming your way. Same time next week for the Long March, 5 p.m. Eastern every Tuesday. Strongly recommend you go check out the previous episodes and indeed previous seasons of the Long March if you haven't already. But I'll see you guys in a minute. Until then, troll too many nat ones. I will be laughing when you do. Good night, everybody. Bye.